we're bringing in people with a lot of knowledge on estimating as well, and we're very excited about that. We just want to be able to be that call Black Diamond, that one call that like solves it all.
So, I mean, the reason it's such a great company to work for is because they actually reward productivity. In a lot of places you go and work for, it's like, this is your job. Do your job. Good job. Pat on the back. What we try and do here is incorporate the entire team.
Call Black Diamond if you are in need of temporary housing or financial needs for scaling your business and obtaining instant cash flow. We are the call that solves it all. And stay tuned for our estimating service. Check out our website for more information. We are so excited to be part of your business and help your growth. Give us a call. Hi, my name is Millie. I am the Marketing and Business Development Director here at Black Diamond. Some of my duties are obviously developing business, strategizing on marketing as well. I have a creative team that handles online ads, so digital marketing, as well as newsletter marketing, and it's a lot of fun. So like my job is very versatile. I have a lot of office time, but I also get to travel and, make new connections with our clients and attend great events and be able to learn a lot in the industry of what's going on. I also, like I said, I lead a team, so leadership is a big thing for us and definitely the board of directors within the company. So we take leadership very serious. So we like to do self-development on how to be a better leader, not only a professional, but I think the most important thing that we have and we have achieved is creating an amazing culture here at Black Diamond. So every intricate detail that goes into play with business development and marketing is also tied into leadership and just moving my team forward and achieving everything that we wish to achieve.
All right. So what makes Black Diamond, well, you mentioned leadership a couple of times.
Yes.
What is that you guys are doing that you feel is definitely different in the industry in regards to leadership?
All right. So I think with leadership comes understanding who your audience is, right? And understanding what the market has, who's your targeted market. We understand our targeted market it's a little bit of hybrid, right? Because we have the business aspect and we're reaching out to businesses, but we're also very much building relationships with homeowners. So understanding as a leader, and we consider ourselves a leader in the industry as well, is pouring into them, right? Pouring into business owners on how to best scale their business financially, operations-wise, understanding that, there are great businesses out there. However, you can't, be in your business and run a business. And so
I understand.
We could talk about that a little further if you like. It's very challenging. And in order to scale, you have to have the right operations in place, the right protocols, understanding that cash flow is huge, right? When you are trying to scale your business. So we do set ourselves apart in leadership because we feel like that's inclusive of a lot of things. We're not just a funding company or a temporary housing company. We are the company that will help you scale in all areas. And on the consumer side is just pouring knowledge and letting them know, like, these are your rights as a homeowner. Loss of use coverage you are entitled to it. You are supposed to tap into it. And just giving them that view where they can look at Black Diamond Services and say, oh, they have somebody, they have somebody who can answer my question, whatever it is. And so that in a whole, leadership is huge for us because we want to lead, and we want to lead with, being ethical and being able to scale businesses, but also navigate through the claims process with our homeowners.
How is it, first thing that pops into your head, I'm sure there's a list of things, but that's okay too. How is it that you can help scale, especially public adjusting businesses and stuff like that? What do you feel is the way that you guys can really help scale their business?
Well, by understanding every area of the coverage, right? And I feel like there are public adjusters that understand how to utilize ALE and have utilized us, and they've added it to their protocol that if they're dealing with a client that is displaced or can't live in the home, they know that the next call that they're making is Black Diamond. However, I do understand as well that there's a lot of PAs that just focus on the dwelling and leave the other coverages behind. It's like, what happens to that? You're leaving not only money on the table, but you're also leaving a huge assistance for the homeowners. And so for me, how do I scale PAs is by simply pouring my knowledge to them and giving them every scenario possible that they can utilize us as their loss of use temporary relocation service.
It's a service that I will never, but no, your service, it's a service that I will never provide, is that ALE, because it's just so difficult. To me, you guys are dealing with a very sensitive subject, right? You're dealing with somebody who has just lost their home. They can't live in their home, their most prized possession. And when you guys are able to sort of take their prized possessions, and especially their pets, and being able to move them, I think it's a pretty cool thing. Could you tell me a good story? Because you are a pretty good storyteller. Could you tell me a good story that comes to mind of when you had to help somebody and with their loss of use and their ALE coverage?
There's a lot of stories. One in particular, it's not a devastating story at all. It's just, it really encapsulates just how much we have worked and how great our culture is about really loving what we do. I know housing can sound boring, but it's just like what makes it fun is the stories behind it, right? And one of our clients, Perri, she's from Louisiana, and if I'm not mistaken, it's like near Thibodeau area, but it's very far away from like New Orleans area, and they had a beautiful house. And she was very hesitant on like moving forward with us. Stephen Marty was actually at the home with me, and we were explaining everything. And she's like, I don't like making any decisions without my husband. Long story short, we ended up like hanging out with her in her house, like sitting back, like talking about everything but her situation, because she was under a lot of stress. Just being that just relief for people it overwhelms us with joy, because dealing with a claim is never fun. But now dealing with a claim because of a hurricane is even worse. And so there was a lot of back and forth. Long story short, Bree would randomly call us and like, hey girl, how are you? She's a hairdresser and stuff. And I was like, I'm sad that you live in Louisiana, because I would definitely go to you. And we ended up reaching out a couple months later. And I was like, hey, do you mind doing, a little testimonial video for us? She's like, absolutely. And it's just like, when you see people that are just so gracious and filled of gratitude from the help, and calls Hannah and talks to her like she's her friend, which we feel like we build a lot of those bonds with people. And it's those stories, right, that they don't end after the claim is done. We have multiple clients. I have a couple elderly in Louisiana, and his wife calls me and we'll randomly just talk. Mardi Gras is happening, something like that. I'm not sure about the dates, but she calls me. She's like, you can stay at our house. Come to Mardi Gras. Like they do a whole like huge like Cajun boil in their whole neighborhood. Everybody comes out. So it's just nice to build meaningful relationships with people that you wouldn't cross unless the situation that we were put in. Black Diamond's greatest strength is building meaningful relationships with people in all areas. Absolutely.
All right. And can you elaborate?
Yeah. So both in business, I feel like, for example, you and I, right? Like we met through the industry. We wouldn't not have crossed paths if we weren't in this industry. And it feels like I've known you forever. It feels like we've been friends forever. And I go to events and like, oh, Vince, I saw you, Vince. And I'm like, yeah, that's my friend. I love you. It's the best, And it's awesome. It's just knowing, like, it was my birthday and just getting like birthday calls and like just random things that you don't realize how much you impact people's life, and like the bonds that you build are really special. And so that's like on the business side, and with our clients, same thing. It's exactly what I was speaking about previously, where we have clients that call us, not because we are handling their housing, it's because they just built a meaningful relationship with us, and they've been able to, add us to their like checkup, list, and they call in and they ask how we're doing, and that happens a lot, and a year later,
Wow.
Yeah. So to me, I feel like people could feel the culture that's within the company through just a simple phone call or, a meeting. It's just who we are.
What is the culture like here in the office within the company?
Oh, it's fun.
How long have you been with Black Diamond?
It's going into 5 years.
So what's the culture like?
Family oriented. We're very much family oriented. We care a lot. We work very hard. Everybody knows that if you're dedicated, if you're passionate about what you're doing, and you give it your all, you'll be fine. We just care. I can tell you a brief story. Somebody's like a year ago, one of our employees' parents got bamboozled by like a scam call, and her mother gave her banking information and like took a significant amount of money. It wasn't like a lot, but it was significant. We all just chipped in.
Wow.
We paid her, so that she didn't have to worry about it. But like, that's the kind of culture that we have. We take care of each other. We care. We genuinely care. Birthdays are a big deal here. We just like making people feel special, feel loved. And like I said, no one here comes in and is like, I have to go to work.
That's awesome.
And it's hard. That's hard to attain. And we've been very, very blessed. The future of Black Diamond. So we love targeting needs. Like, that's just who we are. We're like, we see a financial need, you need cash flow, boom, we generate this. You need housing, generate that. And yes, we are a funding company, but we're so much more than that. You saw, we have desks filled with, ex-insurance adjusters and have that wealth of knowledge in the industry. And we're always trying to pivot and trying to maximize and grow and scale and also pour back into the industry. And so we saw a need, and it was estimates, and I, started doing research. We started looking at what the pain points are of clients who are obtaining estimates, and we found 3 pain points. One is time frame, right? Accuracy is number 2, and reliability is number 3. And so we're like, great, we got that. Let's target all of that, right? And timeframes, we're aiming for very quick, under I would say 3 days. And reliability. You make a call, you submit your scope, you submit your measurements, or whatever type of tailored need you need for your estimates, and you got an expert. We're bringing in people with a lot of knowledge on estimating as well, and we're very excited about that. We just want to be able to be that call Black Diamond, that one call that like solves it all. And so we're very, very excited about this because we're incorporating so many of the things that we already have in place that will help scale estimates to the next level. And as easy as you calling me and saying, hey, Millie, I have 30, estimates that I need to pump out, and I need to pump them out in 7 days. I'm like, I got you.
Got you. Why Black Diamond? The name. This is honestly just popped into my head. Like, why Black Diamond?
It's not about skiing or anything. It's
not about skiing.
Yeah, because I get that question a lot, and so it's not at all about skiing. It's more just they like the name. They like black, and black diamonds are rare and hard to find, and so
okay.
We are that Black Diamond.
My name is Ryan Krantz. I am the Director of Operations and CFO for Black Diamond Funding Ventures. Been with the company since July of 2014. I basically just handle day-to-day operations, make sure that all processes are fully functional. If there's an issue, I try and fix it, handle it. Anytime that we can improve our systems, our processes, I'm working on that. Handling everything that there is to handle from light switch on to light switch off.
What is it that differentiates? There's other companies that do this, that provide this service. What is it about Black Diamond that differentiates yourself amongst other companies like this?
I think it's got to be the quality of experience that we have. with the people that we have working for us, these people have been in the industry, whether they worked for an insurance carrier as a desk adjuster or they worked in the field as an independent adjuster. Everybody has experience and knows the struggle that people go through when they're displaced, when they're having a difficult time. On this end, we're looking to help and provide this service. So having that knowledge and that understanding of how policies work, how to best take care of a client situation, having empathy but being in a position where we can help. I think that's what separates us from a lot of our competition, because we have the experience and we have a dedicated team that really focuses in on how to best provide the service.
And how many people are employed by Black Diamond now?
19.
You're an operations guy.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about the operations do you feel that you've been here since 2014? So I'm assuming you will have a big part as to where the operations is today.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it about the operations what have you been able to do on the operations side to really streamline the process to get that check in hand?
It's been a process.
I know, I'm sure.
And that process has evolved. And it's still evolving. It's like, it's just like a new plant, a vine that's growing, and it continues to grow, and then we figure out, and then it starts to branch and expand. It's really cool because it's like a living, breathing thing that's constantly changing as technology changes, as new features and functions are added to our software. So, years ago, it was, how do we get faster? How do we get better? How can we streamline it? So we got a CRM software, and the CRM software integrates through every department, and it links up with our accounting software, and it links up with our IT software that manages all these devices and all of our systems. So when something happens, if somebody notates something, it goes throughout everybody. Everybody can see what happens. So if I'm working on a claim, but it wasn't my claim, it was handed to me, I have a timeline from the very moment that we first received the phone call for that request. Every phone call, every correspondence, email, everything is in there. So it makes it easy for us to be able to work fluidly within a claim, because if I'm no longer handling that claim because it's being passed off, or maybe my part of that claim process is done, now the next person that grabs it, they don't miss a beat. There's no lapse in information. It's all there. And it's pretty exciting, because to get that type of fluidity in a system, in a software across departments is very beneficial.
Did you guys create it?
No,
it's a third party.
Yeah, it's a third party, okay. And but we had to heavily customize it.
Yes.
It is at this point. There's no other company. I can say with great certainty, there's no other company that operates like we do because of that, because of the heavy customization that we have between the business development, the claims, the accounting, the processing, like the way it all flows and structures, and the steps and processes from start to finish.
I'm laughing, by the way, because we're not going to put this on camera, but we have our CRM that we're using as well, and we are just customizing the fuck out of it.
Which one?
We use Job Nimbus.
Okay.
What do you guys use?
Salesforce.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, we that was a big project. We shopped for dozens, and Salesforce was expensive, but had the best customization.
How long have you been using it now?
Since 2019, 2020.
So it's worked.
Yeah, we had it,
and it worked through COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The biggest strength of our operation is our people, by far. There's no question in that. Like, you can have the best software. You can literally build the best software. If you don't have the right people answering the calls, handling the claims, going through the process, the painstaking steps that go into managing the claim, it's not going to be as successful. And the software is super important. The people are way more important.
I agree. The
reason that we would feel that we're number one is because the the time and effort that we spent to develop our program.
Okay.
Right? I mean, and it's all the factors that we've talked about. It's having the right CRM. It's making sure that your process is right, making sure your contracts are good, making sure that you're setting up your clients for success, right? We don't want to, just set somebody up for the 3 months of coverage, which we could very easily do. If we take that and we did that, after 3 months, you've got somebody that's still in the same situation that they're in financially and being displaced. And now they don't have a viable solution. So if we do our job right and we do our program right, everybody wins, including, and that includes the company, that includes the client, that includes the insurance carriers, whether they want to admit it or not. We help them. And so if we are number one, then it's because of every factor we've talked about. It's the process, it's the systems, and it's the people. Because all of those things matter when you have something that is successful. It's for all of those reasons. The future of the industry is a difficult question to answer right now. I think that there will always be opportunity. There's always going to be an opportunity and a need for a company like us and our services. No matter how difficult it might be to actually be able to provide those services, we will tirelessly work to make sure that we figure out a way to continue to offer that. It's a difficult question to answer right now with the way things are. But the future of the company kind of ties into that, because as a company, we're always going to look for ways that we can do it better, do it smarter, that we can open up different avenues and different areas of how we can help, where we can help, what we can do. There's really no limit to what we can't do. It's just a matter of what we'll be able to research, develop, and build into our process.
There's different services, right? Because we, Commercial Claims Advocate, we promote you guys mostly as Black Diamond housing services, but there are other services that you provide at Black Diamond, correct?
Correct.
What are those services?
So we offer plaintiff funding, like for individuals who've been involved in an accident or have an injury or a loss and a lawsuit and are waiting on a settlement. We can provide funding to help pay some bills and tide you over until a settlement's reached. And we also offer factoring services or invoice purchasing for smaller contractors that are having cash flow issues. We can help to provide some cash flow by purchasing those invoices, and then we work on getting those collected. I don't know if this is going to go on here or not, but that's going to be very difficult. It's like almost near impossible to do in Florida in the next 6 months.
Okay.
But that's another thing, and then a very brand new thing. I'm not even sure if Millie's told you about it, but we're about to launch a service where we can provide estimates. We're going to write estimates for PAs, restoration guys, contractors. What we've continuously found in our research and development is people are backlogged, 20, 30 estimates that they can't get out because it takes them 4 hours to do it. Well, again, we've got a room full of adjusters in here that understand how to do estimates. If you provide us with scope and details, then we can churn out those estimates for you, and we're just filling it out for you and getting it to you so you can get it in time. Because again, with the law change, now they've cut down on the amount of time that you can submit an estimate. So we're just trying to figure out more ways that we can be useful and helpful to as many people as possible within this industry.
Seems like innovation's a big part of the company.
So we operate, like, as long as we've been around, there's still a very much of a startup feel here because of all of that. Because again, we've got, we're talking with people, hey, we got this program, man, that's great. I really wish you guys could offer estimates, man. I really wish you guys could help me with this paperwork. I really wish you guys could just help me collect. I've got $150,000 in collections, I can't get to it. So it's like, we just sit here and we hear this. It's like, well, why can't we? Well, let's look into it. Let's do some research. What can our company do? What do we need to put in place? Do we have the existing people and structure to do it? Or do we need to build something new? So we do operate very much like a startup because of, like you said, there's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of ideas. It's just every time we're talking with people about what we do, they say, man, that's awesome. I really wish you could do this. That would be a big help for me. I was like, awesome. We'll look into that.
Nice.
What can we do to help you? I'm sure there's something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason it's such a great company to work for is because they actually reward productivity. And a lot of places you go and work for, it's like, this is your job. Do your job. Good job. Pat on the back. What we try and do here is incorporate the entire team, through different incentive structures, through different types of ways that we can keep everybody motivated and working together for a common cause, which is good profitability. If the company does well, like clearly the owners do well, but we want everybody to do well also. So I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a processor or an underwriter or a director, like everybody gets to participate in some sort of revenue share, profit sharing stuff. It's really rewarding as an employee to work for a company that when you excel, when you exceed expectations, you're rewarded for that, right? And it doesn't even have to be monetarily. Like we've rewarded people with different things, gift cards and days off and different things like that, to where just things that make it fun. Like we had a huge Christmas party here. Like nice. They decorated this office. Like you gotta ask Millie. She'll show you the pictures, the videos, but like those kind of things, like they matter and it makes a difference. And we, the ownership was like, and we're going to make it a contest, and the winning team is going to get a cash prize and some of these other things. That, man, they went crazy for it.
That's awesome.
You couldn't recognize the office, and it's that kind of thing from an employee's side, and then also from a manager's side. When you look at it and you see like the type of programs that we're putting in place to where everybody feels like they're a part of it, right? And not one person in there doesn't feel like this company isn't, that they're not like an integral part of it.
Right.
And by design, we want everybody to have a feeling of equity into it, because if the company does well, they're gonna do better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Hannah. I am the lead intake specialist here at Black Diamond Housing. Basically, somebody calls in, they need some help, temporary housing, I'm your gal. I just walk you through the process, help you out as much as I can. Some people call me a bit of a therapist because, it's part of the job, but I really enjoy it.
How's it going, guys? My name is Stephen Marty. I am one of the housing specialists here at Black Diamond. I assist homeowners with relocation and temporary housing services. On the other side of our business, I also do invoice purchasing, as well for our vendors that we work with.
Tell me what it's like to work at Black Diamond.
It's amazing. The environment that we work with, the people that we work with, they are phenomenal. It's endless support and fun, really, and we enjoy what we do. I love meeting new clients every day. Some of them have actually considered themselves my friends, which it's really amazing to me. And meeting people from different walks of life, going through some of the toughest times that they've gone through in their life, I really enjoy being that shoulder to cry on, so to speak. It brings me great pleasure.
Have you worked at other companies before?
I have, yeah. The prior one that I recently was at Universal. I was a field adjuster. Also worked as a claims examiner, so I have a lot of experience in the insurance industry as both a desk examiner and a field adjuster. So I feel like that's why what I bring to Black Diamond has a lot of great value. All right, so I think one of the things that differentiates working at Black Diamond and compared to some of the past companies I work for, I think it's just, at least now, I feel like the type of service that I'm providing actually benefits the homeowner. In the past, I was working for the carrier, so it kind of felt like I was working against the clients, not really helping them with their claims. But here at Black Diamond, a lot of the services that we offer to the homeowners, it's just really impactful, especially when you have families who are in need of housing and, they've just gone through a devastation or a catastrophic loss. That's, at least to me, there's the most satisfying part of my job is being able to secure a family, not leave them stranded or anything like that, like be in the sense like they're saving grace.
It is so rewarding. Like you go home at night and you feel great for knowing that you provided a place for somebody to rest their head. to just have that peace of mind that their family is okay and they're not sleeping in a car, or, you know, it relieves some of their stress. It makes us kind of proud of what we do. The working environment here at Black Diamond is fantastic. We have, you know, we're busy, of course, but we find the time to have fun in between, support each other, laugh together. It's actually one of the best places I've ever worked before.
I mean, I definitely say is reach out to Black Diamond to seeing what type of services we can assist you all in. A lot of the time it's just the lack of knowledge and thereof. But at the given moment of, you know, those others vendors, other companies feeling like they can use Black Diamonds as a potential service or as a potential increase to their company, I would say definitely go for it. We have a lot to offer over here.